All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, it's round 7. It's round 7. Let's go. Last round of Swiss. Last round of Swiss.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. Now,
and we have a very unique match.
This is a very unique match. Now, Matt's going to be on stream for the second time today, but his opponent has not been on stream. Jonathan is 4-2 with a Chancellor Palpatine blue deck. So both of these gentlemen are 4-2 going into this round. So one of them is going out of here with that elusive 5th win that might
bubble them in.
Might put them into the
might bubble them out.
Might bubble it out. We don't know. We don't know. But that
That's the game.
The 5th win is the key here. So we're going to see if we can do this. You guys have met Matt before. He was on stream, I think, back in round 2 or 3. I forget which. But we saw him earlier in the day on Ray Dataval. And then over on the right-hand side of your screen, this is Jonathan. Jonathan's been on my stream before. I think it's been a hot minute. I feel like he was on a Showdown stream that I did probably back at Dragon's Lair in Houston, probably back in February or something like that. But in the meantime, we are headed to here, and here is your matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go.
One of the linchpins of this matchup as when you're playing against Chancellor Palpatine is timing when you kill their units.
Okay.
So Chancellor Palpatine's flip is restricted based on when a heroism unit dies. So
yes, that's when he does his. He doesn't have a deploy. He only has a front and a back.
Yep.
Flip,
And so the requirement to flip from heroism to villainy side is a heroism unit has to die.
Has to have died.
And then the requirement.
A friendly heroism unit has to have died.
Friendly.
There
yes.
we go. Okay.
That you control.
Yes.
And then on the villainy side, it's if you play a villainy card. So there are going to be turns specifically in the colors that you're playing Palpatine against where one is way stronger than the other. For example, you're going to play. He played a Lothal Insurgent.
Okay, this is going to be a weird one for me. I'm going to have to be looking up cards that I have buttons I have probably never pressed before.
I actually know
on the stream deck
these decks by heart. I got you.
That's good. If you can tell me what card it is at a glance, I can find it on the deck. I promise.
All right. So Lothal Insurgent. If it's the second card you played that turn, your opponent draws a card and discards a card at random. Just a way to cycle.
Yeah.
But it's really specifically a 3/2 heroism unit that can trade.
And can get killed, which is what Palpatine really needs.
Yes,
or
he needs the trade.
He wants the trade.
Now, the other thing that Palpatine do is he could enable his own units by using various card effects like, what is it that Dooku does?
Exploit,
yes. So you can play.
He could exploit a heroism unit if he's got a way to do it.
So that is a very common tactic. And then I find that the way to kind of like punish it is when he wants to trigger all of those, kill all of the heroism, but don't force it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That makes this guy, the Lothal Insurgent, a 4/3, which means a 4/3.
That's right.
Which means R2 can no longer assassinate him.
But R2 can get bigger if he wants.
R2 would have to pump. Yes.
Oh, he previewed an Admiral Akbar.
Is that what that was?
He teased an Admiral Akbar.
I didn't quite make it out.
He also has a Fleet Lieutenant, and that will do the kill. And it'll live.
Now, at the end of the day, though, that's kind of what Chancellor wants. He wants you to kill his stuff.
Yes.
Right? So now that something has died, we're able to flip Chancellor Palpatine. So now you can see the Darth Sidious. Oh, I got to work on that image. That's not quite right. I should have showed you the front side first. There's the trigger. As an action, draw a card, heal 2 damage from your base, and then flip this leader. Okay, and so now this is the side that's up. So now he's cunning villainy, and if you play a villain card, you can create a clone trooper and then smack your opponent's base around a little bit.
Yeah, the opposite of the heroism side. Heal 2, drain 2.
Thank you, chat, for reminding me to update the standings. I'll work on that in the background. That won't take terribly long. Give me just a moment.
And as we go into 4 resources, Matt immediately plays that Akbar he previewed.
Gonna pop that guy.
So now the thing about this, by killing the thing last turn, he flipped. He's able to kill it this turn, not trigger. Now, when Chilton comes into play, he'll become a 5/5.
Yep.
And he will be able to flip over to the heroism side. However, without having any heroism units in play, unless he can play a heroism and kill it that turn,
he can't flip
he's not
back right
flipping
away.
again. And this is how you want to manipulate the control of what Palp's doing.
Yep. Okay, so he's got a 5/5 Sentinel out now. All right, let's get the standings updated here.
Matt's going to pump something up.
Yep, use Ray to do Ray things. R2's the easy target there.
So that means R2 is going to hit for 3, and then that Fleet Lieutenant can also hit for 3, and that will allow him to have a total of...
So Palpatine flipping back 2 on the base, and he makes a cheapo clone trooper. That's such a weird mechanic.
Now that he has the clone trooper in play next turn, if he has a fodder to kill.
Yes.
He can kill off his clone trooper as a heroism unit to then flip again. And that's where you want to disrupt that engine.
Yes.
Now, is Matt able to do it here? No. He's tapped out, and it requires both attacks to trade. R2-D2 looking at the top card of that.
I feel like he needs to get this Chilton on the board this round, off the board this round, if he can do it.
And that's what he's going to do, but he's trading 2 units to do it.
Palpatine's probably not too upset by that.
No, he's very happy with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially having that 2-2 left in play means if he doesn't have an exploit, if he just waits, if opponent plays a ground unit, I attack it.
Yep. There we go. All right, chat. Standing scroll on the bottom should be updated here. It'll scroll through in just a little bit. You'll see the top 10 is what I have it set for right now. At the end of round 6 is what you're seeing. And I'm going to fix, it's driving me nuts. I'm going to fix that Palpatine image. It's going to drive me nuts. Actually, I should do it elsewhere. I thought I had already fixed it. So the Chilton's dead. We're just going to smash in with a clone trooper.
Now, Akbar here, getting the value, like we said before, having the units in play, here getting the trade. But in doing this, especially by doing it first, you allow him to flip. And now he's going to draw a card, have the most options available to him to play a card from his hand. Matt on the other side plays Spark of Hope, immediately putting one of the cards defeated in this turn into play as a resource. Then he plays Mon Mothma. He's trying to get the card advantage as well as obviously go up on a resource because now Rey can deploy this turn. So by getting this much out, you try to create a lopsided board state. You have upgraded units. You have Rey in play, and you start pressuring Palpatine.
Already at 6. Oof.
You want to try to pressure Palpatine to a point where Super Laser Blast isn't the answer. Like it's not going to save him.
Yeah.
But Jonathan's doing a really good job of kind of keeping Matt's board clear now. And Matt has to decide, do I want to deploy and possibly get power to the dark side on the claim? It looks like he just goes to next turn.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the top guys were ID. We talked briefly about the ID rules. Wow, where did the restore come from?
So when Palp flips on the heroism side, he heals.
No, I meant Rey's restore. Rey had 4 damage on earlier, I thought. 3 or 4 anyway. And he's down to 1 now. Okay, sorry. It's what I get for looking away.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
That's okay.
To be honest
It's all right. Don't worry about it. He's not problem, Tavarish.
So now we have R2-D2 come in play again. There's a couple of cards today that have been really recurring. R2-D2 is one of them. And look at these targets.
Ooh, got to get rid of that Luke.
Yeah, as soon as he's seen it, he's like, he already knew. Now Matt's got to draw a card. He didn't draw a card off the Bazine. I don't know if you want to tell the judge.
Yeah, let me make sure they do that real fast.
Bazine trigger.
Okay. All right, so we saw R2. What was that? What did he put down there? Oh, the Sundari. It's a Sundari Peacekeeper. Got it. And then he made his Clone Trooper, did his damage to base, and flipped back and played. Is that Queel?
Yes, you have Queel, a Trooper, as well as a Bazine in play for Jonathan. You have R2-D2 Rey and the Sundari Peacekeeper for Matt.
Well, we don't have the Queel anymore.
Yeah, Quill's dead, and now Rey got a little damage.
Rey's got a little dinged up, and is going to heal that damage right off the base.
Rey has spoken.
Yep.
And the restore here not playing a big factor. Obviously, Jonathan not being an aggro deck or putting any pressure. He's trying to get to that late game.
Yeah. This match is going to be a slog.
So I think that this comes down to 2 simple things. One, is Chewbacca a factor? So if Chewbacca comes into play, it limits Palpatine's options on how you remove the board.
Right.
The other factor that is really huge is what is Matt's endgame? Does Matt end by playing a Ewing reinforcement? Does he want to end by playing a home 1? Because having home 1s in the deck, if you have Chewbacca, it's now having like Chewbacca 4, 5, and 6.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because to me, my question is, what's Jonathan's end game? Right? Like, he has to play this interesting mix of little tiny stuff, right, to get murdered, to flip his leader. No, to flip his leader, right?
Sure.
And then once he's over there, once he's on the flip side, what is he playing?
So he has in his hand currently, he has Avenger. He has a ton of big villainy endgame.
He does have some big endgame stuff.
He's got the blue villainy
I thought I saw
endgame.
Super Laser Blast in
Yes,
there,
he has that as well.
Okay.
That's correct. So by you outvalue your opponent by you're constantly drawing cards throughout the game. So 1-for-1s are okay with you with Palpatine.
Okay.
But you're also healing. And then as another byproduct, you're dealing 2 damage to them by flipping.
Okay.
That's not your win condition, but it is a factor. And you're trying to go late.
Okay, he smashed the Clone Trooper in. I got it.
And with Palpatine, you're trying to go late in the game because you're going to keep drawing cards even later in the game.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize you were going to need more chairs. There you go. Apologies. Some gentleman had to come in the room here and claim the stack of chairs was on a rolling cart. They had to roll it right over my cable cards.
Yeah, it was a bit tense for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, no, God, please don't disconnect my cables. Okay, we're good. Life is good. Okay, breathe again.
So as Palpatine gets to the late game, he will never stop drawing cards. He's going to play stuff. He's going to kill it. He's going to draw more cards. So you just outvalue your opponent.
Interesting.
Now, Rey also, again, if Matt has a combo in here, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, he is playing Unity of Purpose. So that's 1.
That would be a really, really strong card in this matchup, I think.
Yes. And so depending on, again, what his end game is depending on how he has to set it up.
Yeah.
So if his Unity of Purpose, he wants to bait out the Super Laser Blast to play the Unity of Purpose, to play the timely reinforcements, as well as then flood the board, and then you have to have your opponent react to it, and then you're just trying to one-shot him.
Jonathan also sitting on a Vigilance in there. I wonder in Europe, okay, that Snoke's going to make a big difference.
Snoke in space, baby.
Do you, in your experience, does this Palpatine deck ever try to, like, just mill?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So the card draw, obviously, in a vacuum, you're like, but I'm drawing like 5 or 6 cards. That's the equivalent of Vigilance. Yeah, but if you're drawing into your Vigilances and then playing them,
right,
you're pulling ahead.
Yep.
So the idea is, like, that's one of the possible win conditions.
Chat saying that watching people play control decks against each other is the equivalent of watching paint dry. He's kind of right, but the Rey is not really a control deck to me.
So yeah, Rey. I think that we use the blanket terms very loosely.
Right.
Control, aggro, mid range. When there are obviously
there's subtle deviations inside those categories for sure.
With that being said, Palp is a hard control deck.
I would consider what Jonathan's playing to be almost hard control.
And then Rey could be considered soft control.
Yes.
You're not controlling what your opponent's doing via like removal, but you are controlling the board via card advantage as well as buffing up, slow rolling your turns, or getting the most out of your resources.
Yep. We're going to use R2 and 3PO to attack for a total of 0, but it does allow him to draw a card.
It does allow him to see and draw the cards on top. There's experience with certain matchups are so vital because that's what you're educating your sideboard off of.
Is that a moisture
farmer?
It is 0 to moisture farmer.
Still getting that restore going though, right?
Oh my
Still
goodness.
restoring.
How much restore is
the funny
crazy.
thing is that like Rey can out heal through the debuff, and then when Snoke goes away, all of a sudden moisture farmer is even bigger.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't get to that point.
I really hope it doesn't get to that point. I was going to say, he does manage to sneak some damage through here with the Sundari, who is a 2... No, who's a 0-3? 0... Is it 0-6? No, 0-4. A 0-4 with 3 damage and raid 2.
Raid 2.
And raid 2.
That's right, yeah. The debuffs plus the raid plus the damage, yes. So knowing what cards are in your sideboard and what the threats are, what you're playing against. Like, let's say if Matt has Fell the Dragon. Does he want to Fell the Dragon here? If he does Fell the Dragon, how many more outs does he have for, let's say, Avenger? Mm-hmm. So that's where playing your deck and knowing your deck are really, really important.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna look at Palpatine real first to refresh my memory.
Sure.
Oh, wrong Palpatine. Sorry. I want to look at Darth Sidious. My apologize. Okay, so because that's the side. So okay, so he chose to play Snoke, but not use Sidious's game text. Because after he played Snoke, he could have used Sidious and then chose not to. He's not required to. In other words, he can just.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a. It's not like a. It's an active.
It's not
trigger.
a must. It's an action. It's a choice you make, which is
Yes.
okay. I've got my value out of my villain side.
Yes.
Let's go back to the other side now.
Yeah, and,
okay.
and if you played a villainy card, but you only have villainy cards, you're not going to flip to the heroism side because you have what you need to play.
Well, we get to run over 3PO for 3, and then Akbar is going to ping Snoke for 4 there. That's going to allow the Sundari to push him off the board, as Vigilance is going to come out.
So this is an interesting choice that Jonathan has to make. He can just deal 5, and then he kills something, and then heal 5 from his base.
I wouldn't heal here.
The other option is to, obviously,
the shield I love. That's what I would have done.
And then the last one is the discard, right? So what is he going to try to mill Rey? Clearly, that's not. He's going to remove something and put the shield on. He's trying to control the board.
There's only 1 health left on that Sundari Peacekeeper. He can get rid of it, which is exactly what he's going to do. You said he had an Avenger. Oh, I see it now. He does have an Avenger in there. Is that a Fel?
There's that Fel the Dragon.
There's the Fel the Dragon.
So now the sequence of how it was played, Jonathan played an extra card, right, to put a card into play, get the shield up, the Vigilance, and then he felled it after. If he would have felled first, then he wouldn't have did that effect with the Vigilance. He probably would have played something else.
Going to make Matt discard something with the Power of the Dark Side, and he does.
That's probably one of the worst Power of Dark Sides ever.
You got rid of a
moisture farmer.
Feels pretty awful.
You don't know the power of irrigation.
You don't know the power of harnessing the power of the air for the power of water. Do you know, I found an MIT article, they actually invented that this week.
What'd they invent?
The ability to harvest water from air. And later you can deploy these units in the harshest desert and still get water out of the air.
So we made portable clouds.
Quite literally.
Interesting.
I mean, dude,
that's innovation.
I was like, man, let's go.
No, that's pretty interesting. You're saying that you could pull it in like a desert, like how much moisture is in the air that they could make the water, right?
Yep.
That's fascinating.
Just like in the movie. We've literally finally caught up to the technology of Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen.
And then we're going to loop back to idiocracy, right?
Too funny. Too funny. All right, so Lompike comes in here.
Very Lompike, I feel like, is in a ton of lists, like as a one-of because of the smuggle. But it's a legitimate card that, in very specific game states, creates a huge problem for your opponent. So, for example, they have a little space unit. You have Lompike. You attack, you put the shield on the space unit, the shield on Lompike. Lompike's the real threat. Down the line, when you play the Snoke, play Super Laser Blast, play Takedown, you're going to kill the shielded unit anyway, so it's not going to affect you.
Okay, so he's going to go ahead and use Sidious here to flip back to his hero side to deal 2 damage.
And now you can see he has Yoda in his hand, so because he wants to play that.
Wants to get the Yoda out.
Home one.
I've been wondering where Matt's bombs were, and now we're starting to find out. They've been lurking in his hand.
So there's a couple of sweet spots. This is one of them at the
that Luke is so good
at the 12 resource threshold. When you play home one, you could get a 7-drop.
Yep.
So we're getting Luke.
Yep.
The other threshold is 10, and I know that because 10 gets you Chewie.
Do you see how quickly he brought out the direct hit there to murder the home one?
Yeah, it's very, very important.
Woof.
I actually, if I was him, if he's holding the Super Laser Blast, I honestly would have just Super Laser Blast, maybe.
Another Lothal Insurgent.
And because it's not the first or second, he would have to, Matt's
Each opponent draws a card and discards a random card.
Remember, that's the big thing about this card, random.
Yeah. Gets rid of a Village Protectors. All right. Matt on the button.
Interesting chain of events. Now here's also something that you really need to consider against when you're playing a Chancellor. They can't Super Laser Blast
on the hero side.
On the hero side. So, but of course he has a way to get rid of his hero just by attacking.
Let me back that up. He can't he?
The penalty.
It's just extremely expensive. Well, it's 10. It's 10.
10. Just the it's not extreme, but yes,
so
it is 10.
He's less likely to. Let's say. Okay.
But going towards the 8 resource turn, when you pressure the board, if he's on the hero side, you overcommit because now he has to play something to flip. So, but if he doesn't, then he's holding back. Now you're like, ooh, you probably have Super Laser Blast.
Right.
Maybe I want to put Chewie into play, or just don't overcommit to the board. Let you Super Laser Blast, then populate the board.
Right.
In the matchup versus Hunter and Trent, Hunter did a great job of super laser of populating the board and playing against super laser blast really effectively.
Yep.
And then we've seen one of the MVPs of today, that
Yeah.
blue leader.
This is the MVP of the whole bloody set, man. It's crazy how good this card is.
Blue leader is fantastic. Now, Matt has a choice that he has to make at some point in this game, and that is, when does he go to base? When does he turn it to try to put the clock on Palp?
He's been doing little bits of it there, and we're starting to see it here.
It looks like he finally feels comfortable enough to turn the corner.
Right? He's literally got no damage on his base.
Now, after he flipped Sidious and he drew and stuff again, now Matt has the option. Does he want to go to base? Does he take out Quill? So next turn, Sidious can't flip back. The Avenger comes into play, forcing Matt to choose.
Somebody dies. You must choose, but choose wisely.
Blue leader having 7 attack is rough.
Wouldn't it be...
No, it's 5.
It's 5. It's just 5.
Yeah, just 5.
I mean, and he's exhausted already.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the logical choice.
What is the card that's on the glare?
Pretty sure that is a Sundari Peacekeeper.
Yep.
No.
R2D2.
That's R2. Yeah, R2 with some tokens on him.
There you go. He killed the Quill, and now R2 stays around.
I think Jonathan took initiative there. I presume
yes,
that he
did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
they didn't move it, but yeah, I would have with Avenger on the board.
Yeah. And then now Luke has armor against Avenger.
And now there's another Moisture Farmer.
So if he picks off the R2D2, you still can go to base with Luke, and then if Avenger attacks, you can just sack the Moisture Farmer.
Chat saying the game 1 is going to be important with the clock. You're not wrong. I mean, these guys have not done a tremendous amount of damage, and we are 22 minutes into game 1. Now, these guys did start a little late. I suspect that they will get a small extension on time from the judges. I'm being told it's about 5-ish minutes. So they have a little extra time than what you're seeing on the timer.
Also,
but not a tremendous amount.
Going by that, they're averaging 15 minutes currently. So as obviously the longer it goes, the longer that goes. But we'll see. I don't think we're at that point just yet. But it could quickly get there.
Yep, going to get rid of Luke with Arrival's Fall. That's going to make the Avengers' choices just catastrophically bad for Matt. He's going to lose weak unit number 1 or weak unit number 2. But he's going to push some damage with R2 before he gets there.
He's seen a Luke with R2 and definitely puts it right back on the top.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Says goodbye to that Moisture Farmer.
All right. First big, solid, meaningful hit that Jonathan has landed all game.
Yeah, and then as Blue Villainy does, this is how they turn the corner.
Absolutely. Like this is pretty much, I won't say it's the only way you can do it, but it's one of the good ways you can do it.
Yeah.
One of the best ways you can do it.
Efficient.
Thank you. Chat reminding me I should have the melee link up. My apologies. I'll work on that real briefly.
Jonathan plays Bazine. Now we get to he gets to see what we've seen. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt.
Getting rid of that blue leader hurts.
No. Jonathan smuggled Bazine in play.
Yeah. What did he lose?
And that's what we don't know. But his facial expression.
His face was not happy.
No, his facial expression was like that might have been a win condition.
Okay, his face was not happy. I gotta come to here.
And then this is the right play. Avenger comes into play.
I ordered 100 ham.
Sorry. You're good. Go.
Avenger comes into play, and it's basically doing a 1-for-1. You flood the board. You want to go slow with Avenger. I'm going to base. And because I'm going wide, I'm going to sack a little guy. So you're trying to force him to Super Laser Blast his own Avenger.
Yeah. There we go. Melee link is pinned in YouTube for those of you that are interested. Apologies. I should have done that earlier in the day. We have flipped back to the Chancellor Palpatine side by doing the Darth Sidious shenanigans.
So Jonathan is sitting on 12 resources. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so is Matt. So we're at 12 resources each.
All the resources you could ever want. I see a second Avenger.
I want 16.
I know, man. Oh, you want Endless Legions. I know what you want, sir.
I want 16.
You want 16.
Yeah.
Give it to me all. Give it all to me.
Roll it again.
Roll it again.
Do it.
All right, so R2's going to trade out with the Clone Trooper. That should kill him and take him off the board.
It looks like Akbar will go bye-bye here. It's an interesting choice because I also seen Chilson in his hand. And I actually think playing Chilson is a good, but I don't know what else is in his hand. So
Yeah, he has. I think he's got about 4 cards in his hand. I'm not sure it would be a valuable Chilson.
yeah, he might be holding all heroism.
Yeah.
But
that
if
5 damage from blue there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
oh, there's redemption.
Ooh, no wonder he wanted to get back on the happy
Happy
side.
side, yeah.
Yep, the happy side, happy joy side of the leader card.
The non-emotional happy side.
We're gonna go probably the full 8 here. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do, but
Yep, that's what he's gonna do. It's gonna set Matt back quite a ways. This is something else that I think people forget when I've seen people play Palpatine Blue. I think they forget you can redemption is a really good pick for not Palpatine, Piet.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Blue.
yes, yes.
Put a redemption in there. Yeah, it's off aspect. Who cares?
So yeah, so this is interesting. He
There's
caught
the
him with that,
Chilton.
but he can't play it because on the heroism side.
Well, he has to overpay for it.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
but he could.
So he's gonna flip.
Yep.
He's played a hero card.
So
Gonna heal 2.
the requirement to flip would be a heroism unit had to die, which it did.
Which it did. Yes, because
it did.
the clone trooper died.
Yep.
So he's gonna flip over to the villain side.
Yeah. And now while he's on this side, he can't flip back this turn, but now he could obviously play
Right.
the Chilton next action. Now, obviously, tech coming into play gives Matt a whole second hand. And he didn't smuggle his resource. You might want to tell the judge after he played direct hit, he has to smuggle in.
Okay, let's double check.
I could have missed it, but I didn't. I don't think I did.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Thank you. R2D2 looking at that top card.
There we go. And then there's the Chilton. We knew he had it.
Mhm.
I wished I'd been paying attention. I would have seen what else he had in his hand. I know he's got another Avenger. He's definitely sitting on Avenger number 2. There we go. Okay,
Yeah,
now he did.
He got the trigger.
There we go. All right, Jonathan takes initiative.
Now, because that card was smuggled,
Yeah.
his R2D2 trigger now is
Right.
accurate.
Yeah.
So now he's looking, deciding.
Yep. Yep, Jonathan takes the initiative.
Yeah, and then now Matt's going to put the 1 on tech to stop him from getting one-shotted from
Chilton.
Chilton. That's what I think.
Well, he's got 2 options. I mean, he's got R2 or Tech, but
Yeah,
Tech is
that's-
the choice.
And then this is now allows him to get even more value
Right.
from tech. Now that we've hit 20 minutes and we're coming up on 2/3 of the time, this is going to be a one gamer because at the end of this this game, there's no way their game 2 could be anything less.
It feels highly unlikely that
Yeah.
game 2 will go to completion at this point.
Yeah.
And
So-
yet Jonathan's 4-2 on the day. So like it's either just this particular matchup or
Yes.
I mean he's not and they're not playing slow.
No, they're not.
There's just a lot to deal with.
They played for a half hour ish, and they're on 15 resources. That means that their each turn is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, they both got and especially here we're getting late in the game. He's going to put 6 more into base. Matt finally down to single digits here, 8 HP remaining. I'm sorry, I think it looks like he's got 24 on, so we'll say 9 HP remaining. There we
that's
go.
correct. Now all of a sudden, Chilton with that 5
Feels pretty.
hit for 5. You're threatening with the lethal next turn.
Yeah, and he's got. I have to believe he's going to bring out that Avenger this round. I mean, he's got the Sidious waiting and ready.
Right now, Matt's considering his hand is now 17 cards because his resource row is part of it.
Chat wondering if the top 8 is locked. I'm not convinced.
No, it's not.
These guys, we only had, I think, 1 6-0 going into this round. We had some guys that did ID, I think, that were 5-1. But I don't think we had enough 5-1s to fill out the whole bracket. We only had 73 players today.
I think the out of top 8, 7, and 8 are wild cards right now for us.
There will definitely be some 5 and 2s that can make it. And so these guys, like one of them might have an opportunity, depending on breaks.
All right, so this is pretty big. By him playing the Village Protectors first, he's obviously protecting the base from the 5, but also now tech is protected. So now this is going to give Matt a ton of value that if a Avenger or something like that is played, he has much more options to now go to Avenger, here we go, to go to space and put a Sentinel up or his own redemption or something of
Yeah.
that effect to kind of like
Yep.
tie themselves over.
Well, even if this match turns out not being for like relevant, I'm still glad we're seeing it. I've never seen Chancellor Palpatine played. Like I've never played against it. I've never actually watched anybody play it until now.
Okay.
I've seen people play. Like I've walked past tables where the Luke.
That's a good
That's
Luke.
a great Luke. I've seen people. I've walked past people and went, "Oh, he's playing Palpatine," but I've never actually stopped and watched to kind of wrap my brain around mechanically how it works. So this has been interesting. This has been a good learning experience for me, if nothing else.
So Matt is going to keep going to base. He does die in 2 actions. So if Avenger and a redemption hit, he does lose to that. So, and he played every card in his hand. So he either has something big in the row that's going to get him out of this, or he's hoping to draw something. Because Chancellor being at 15 life, obviously he's not going to close it out before the Avenger and the redemption finish him off.
Yep.
I will say he does have a nice little chunk of restore. The Luke is always relevant with 3, but he's got 1 on the clone.
Yep.
And they're all protected.
Luke is such a massive swing, right? Because he deals 6 and then he puts 3 back.
Now this is really important to see what Matt sacrifices.
Right.
Because if he sacrifices the little guy, the clone, Jonathan's going to draw a card. He loses that restore 1.
Mm-hmm.
But if he sacrifices anything else, it looks like he's going to be sacrificing damage.
Yep. Because he's got a blue leader,
Tech and
Tech
Village Protectors.
and the Village Protectors.
The irony here is I actually think Village Protectors is probably one of the safest things.
I think I would eat that card. There's nothing in the ground arena that's going to be relevant this round. And I don't think Jonathan – I mean, I don't see it as a problem.
Wow, what a play. So one of the MVPs of the day.
Tech. Or the Eager E.
Eager, Escort Fighter, comes from the row to finish the redemption.
Yeah, which would have been lethal.
Would have been lethal.
Matt's sitting on 1 HP here.
Okay.
A Droid Starfighter.
Starfighter.
Okay,
4/3 Sentinel in space.
Sure.
And then Matt just keeps the parade going, right? You got 6. He's going to restore 4 total right there. So that'll bring him under lethal again. Right, 10, 20.
Restore 4 should be restore 3, right?
3 from Luke and then 1 from the clone.
Oh, okay. He will. Yeah, when it all goes in. Yeah.
Yeah. So it still comes down like Avenger still is threatening lethal. All right. So now here we go. We got another vigilance.
The vigilance here I think is a big deal because this is the thing. If Jonathan can survive this turn, he just has to get 1 good Avenger swing in next turn.
And he's obviously healing.
They didn't sack anything for Avenger. They forgot that, I think.
As I'm watching, I think.
Oh no! Wait. The protectors are gone. They were at the bottom of the board.
Okay, gotcha.
He did sack the protectors.
Perfect.
We talked about that.
It's a slightly.
It's
on
at the
the
very
edge.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom. It's very off camera, guys. But if you'll remember earlier, the village protectors were at the very bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
they
now they're
died.
gone. Yep. Which again, we both agreed. I think that was the
right.
right call.
Was the right call. And that's
Nothing.
What he did.
There's no.
Oh, he entrenched the Avenger.
Ooh. There's no ambush that I know of unless he's playing Plo.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting play right there with the entrenched. 10, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31. All right. We got 10, 20, 31.
31 out of 33?
Yeah, so he only has 1 restore in play.
Ooh,
It's looking tight. Then with 15 minutes left.
They got about 5 extra, but
Yeah.
that's not. I don't. The way this
not.
match is going, I don't think. And which is interesting to me. We've talked in the past. I've talked in the past with other co-commentators about learning when to scoop, like knowing when to scoop.
So I was going to say this around the half-hour mark. I was going to say that Matt is not in a position where it's unwinnable.
Neither of them is really,
but
truth be told.
Neither of them were threatening any type of lethal, and Palpatine, I think, is the better late-game deck. However, it's really, really, really difficult to just give up a game that you
have a chance at.
That you have a chance. Yeah.
I have to believe Matt just took initiative there, although I don't think it matters. He's scooping up he must be looking for something for tech.
So by him claiming initiative, by attacking first and restoring 3, he's now out of range of the 4/3 Sentinel in space.
Yeah. Village Protector was from Vigilance. I actually don't know. You guys may be right.
That's very possible.
It's possible that they missed it. Which is odd because that's like one of the biggest reasons
triggers.
You play Avenger. Like you play it to murder something. Hang on, I've got the life total incorrect. There we go. Only one of these guys has to survive to get through to Matt's base, and it's just a question of can he kill both of them in one action. Actually, that's not true. Once Luke puts the restore on, he doesn't need them both to make it. Yep. There we go. Luke's going to murder 1, restore 3. There's been so much restore.
Now this is something interesting. I wonder if Jonathan's thinking about it. Because of how low Matt is, when he goes from the villainy side back, it's 2 damage.
Yeah.
So if theoretically he could try to set it up because the Lothal Insurgent died. Oh, another direct hit.
A direct hit to kill a droid starfighter, though. That feels awful.
It definitely does.
You do what you got to do,
but I will
that feels
say,
terrible.
Matt is taking control of the board.
He's getting there. Okay, we got a Luke of our own
There
here.
we go. And then Matt just looked at how many resources he had. He went,
yeah.
He's like, can I answer Luke?
Do I have a response? Now, the question is, if friendly unit was defeated, which it was.
Was, yes.
Did he must have shrunk somebody. It looks like, he got rid of Tech. I see it now. Tech's in the discard pile. So Luke clears Tech out. Every other card is direct hit. Chat.
What is that?
I can't even begin to tell.
It's completely off screen for us.
2-5. It's another Tech. He just smuggled out another tech. He smuggled out another Tech.
And look how many resources you have. 1, 2, 3,
it's a lot.
4, 5. You got a fell on Luke.
Okay.
And if Matt has a fell back, that would be big.
That would be quite large.
Matt,
do you flip Chancellor here? Having played your hero units and gotten your Luke on the board, do you think you've put him on the villain side so you can do some damage?
So it depends. I know that Jonathan's hand is full of heroism, but if he has one villainy card by flipping, you pressure him.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that.
Smuggled
Fleet Lieutenant into Luke. Luke being the rebel.
Yep.
Takes him out.
Well, no, it wasn't Luke. He smuggled the Fleet Lieutenant into Blue Leader
to kill Luke.
To kill Luke.
Yeah.
Yep.
and
then he's going to use the clone. And restore one more to pop the clone trooper. We did see the flip.
Mm-hmm. And all of this is from Tech.
Yes.
That's the funny part. All this is from Tech. Like Matt wouldn't even be in this game if it wasn't for Tech right now.
Yep. Staying alive. 45 minutes into game 1. Staying alive.
one life left.
Seriously, how long has he been in single digits?
Yeah, he was on 1 life for
he was on 1 life for a bit, and he's bumped back up
3,
to
4,
5,
1,
and now 2, and up to 3, and back to 1, and
you're saying these numbers, Sabine salivating.
Yeah,
he's like that's how I close the game out.
Yep. Chad also pointing out, we can't quite tell how many cards he's got left in his deck, but you also reach a point where smuggling might mill you.
Yep.
Like that's dangerous.
So we got Chill Boy.
Okay.
So he played Chilton immediately because the next effect, the next action, he could flip his Chancellor
and do 2 damage, which is not lethal, but is still noteworthy.
There's so many resources.
So many Sentinels. Like how many? Like we've seen our 3rd Chilson. Like it's just And how much restore? Like
this is kind
crazy.
of like these games really get kind of out of hand in a way. And then a lot of times if you have a really disciplined player, they're the one counting the Avengers.
Yep.
They're the one counting the Lukes.
Yep.
So how many cards are in your deck? Oh, okay, I know what's in there. You know what I mean? I know what the threats are.
Okay, so we're going to use Sidious here. We're going to deal 2 damage to Matt's base, make a clone trooper, and flip him back.
Matt is waiting to windmill slam this Luke.
Oh, he's got another one?
Yeah. Yeah, he's waiting to win. I could tell. The way he was like looking at his resources, I'm like, he has a Luke.
He's just drooling on it. He's just like, can't wait for this. Let's go.
Yep.
Restored Arc.
Now, this dual lane threats also creates a problem.
If you can call the clone trooper a threat. I mean,
if you're at 1 life, everything's a threat, right?
That's fair, but he's I mean, like Tech Akbar's going to pop it like a balloon. He's got a million
Akbar.
different ways to kill this thing.
This is great.
Another restored arc.
This
Good
is
Lord.
great. This is absolutely great. Matt is like, I got a claim. You know, that restore. Matt just looked up at the time and said, "Whoop." As he went, "Whoop."
Oh, yeah. You guys have been at this a while. We aren't done with game 1 yet.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that Jonathan can't quite get the deal closed.
Yes.
Right? Let's see. So we're still at 31 damage on, right? I'm counting that correctly? Yes, 31, yeah.
So the first attack with Luke will, again, put him just out of range.
Yeah. Well, and because Matt's still on the button.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to swing in with this Luke early. Yep, going to go 6.
And take out the Yoda.
I say he's going to kill the Muppet and restore
Jonathan's
3.
like, both of us draw a card.
Yeah.
Ooh, you seen that face? See the look on his face?
Okay.
I guess
He's got 2 Geonosis fighters, and that's a great exploit card for this deck.
the exploit and bounce.
And bounce, yeah. He
Good
can
tempo.
Yep. He can activate his own Palpatine and put something back in for a tempo play.
Yeah, there are certain plays like that where
He's going to do it here.
he's going to exploit his Avenger.
No, you don't. No, don't. The Avenger doesn't go to the discard pile.
He's exploiting it.
Oh, yeah, it does. My
Yeah,
apologies. Yes, it does. He is exploiting it. So he can play another one. Probably.
I'm actually curious as to the obvious answer is the Avenger, but I'm curious to see if he has any way to interact with the Avenger. I don't think so.
Yeah.
After this point.
And non-linear, it costs 3 or less. So what he must have bounced something. It looks like he bounced tech. He bounced tech.
Play Ewing
Play a Ewing.
reinforcement. Now that Avenger's gone, right?
Yeah.
Now you
know-
can play stuff in the space lanes.
One of the things that drew me to this game initially was the fact that it tends to play fairly quickly. And yet here we are, ladies and
Here we
gentlemen.
are.
And here we are.
I will say, so one of the things is as I've played just so many decks, but Yoda I play very rarely do I go to time. But when there are certain matchups, the Kira matchup, like unfortunately we go to game 3 and I play at a very brisk pace, but we end up going to time. You know, my opponent has to think about a lot of the cards that I'm playing. So I never really, it's not really an issue, but it was in Minneapolis, the whole draw bracket thing. That's a whole nother bag of worms that we got to figure out.
He took 3PO back. He's going for the Sundari instead. The 50-minute one-game match, ladies and gentlemen. Can we do it?
The new meta.
Can we do
Never.
it? I think we can do it. I think we can do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Like it's so funny too. Like I said, the exact answer to slow down these exact units. You know, and if Ray pumps up Bright Hope now, they don't trade evenly.
Oh my goodness gracious!
It's just a very awkward back and forth.
Store one more, so that should be 27 on. Yes, there we go. Perilous Position. That could be a useful card here. Do you put that on Luke, you think? Or would you put it on somebody to just kill them and keep them down? Oh, no, okay.
Well, he did an okey doke on us, and he said, I'm going to play another Geonosis.
We're going to play another Geonosis. We're going to exploit possibly. Or no, he just
exploit.
hardcast it. Okay, what are we going to bounce?
He's
We're gonna
bouncing
bounce
the
the
Sundari.
Okay, we're going to bounce the Sundari. Got it.
Now, Matt he's like, this is him being on the brink, right? He's
Yeah.
like, you have 2 things on your mind. One, how do you turn the corner to pressure your opponent or restore just enough to get out? And then 2, how do you create the board state to win? So right now, every card he plays is rough, you know?
Yep.
Now here's another, again, I said it before with when a Perilous Position was on the Moisture Farmer, but if Ray starts pumping up that Bright Hope, before you know it, Bright Hope is going to overcome.
Well, he missed it here because what's going to happen is the Ark's going to finish it off.
I wonder if he has another card he wants to play for 2.
We're going to put the Sundari back on the board. Yeah, that restored arc should have damage on it. Yes. Yes, Jackson, we are still in game 1.
No,
No?
I think with because of Perilous
Because the
Position,
Perilous, you're correct. It hits
-2.
back for 0. That's a good point.
I actually think they were interrupted by a judge or someone else, and then they explained it to them.
Yeah. 26 on. I'm actually 1 health off. There was the Clone Trooper restore there. There we go. I'll say this. Matt has managed, like, Jonathan has gone back up as high as 16, 17 HP, and Matt just kind of keeps clawing him back down, right?
Yeah, Matt's as you said, he's clawing back. He's gone his little weenies. He's going wide. He's waiting for that one turn to just play that thing to kind of.
And every single unit he has in the ground arena right now has Restore on it.
Restore, yes.
Every single one.
And the most important is that one that went in first for 6 to restore 3.
Yep, for the first time in a long time, Matt has an HP lead in Game 1, I'd like to point out. Goodness gracious.
He's at 23. Almost a HP lead. Well, I guess technically he has more HP left on his base.
He has a lead in health remaining for this exact moment.
Yep.
All right, Restored Arc.
Now we got some Restore going back on the other side.
Exactly. That ties us at 8. 8 each. 8 all. Did I have it right? Okay, I was off, I guess, on Jonathan's base.
If you look at the removal cards that Jonathan flashed has in his hand, 2 Power of the Dark Sides.
Yeah, I see him now. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and restore 1, 2 over here. Okay, so we're going to take. Okay, he swung in one of the Geonosians. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm trying to keep the health total on the screen correct because there's so many tokens flying around. There's the Eager-E to clean something out.
Your escort, get rid of that. The Restorer over the more higher attack because. Hits that incremental little chip damage that's going back and forth. That could be the thing that seals the deal.
Yep.
And we 100% will not be playing Game 2.
No, there's no way there's going to be a Game 2 finish. So whoever wins this game is going to win this match.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way they're going to do anything but a Game 2 just going to end in a nothing burger.
Yeah. Yeah, and then by the time they're done shuffling.
Yeah, even with 5 extra minutes.
5 extra minutes, they're under 10 in the round. Yeah.
Again.
Another tech, baby.
They're just everywhere.
Now the question, I'm curious. We don't know what's in that row, but
no.
How many cards there? Everything's in there. Everything's in there. Look at that.
Now how was he? I guess Jonathan claimed already. I'm guessing here. That's only why, because he smuggled out a tech and then played a Bright Hope, or smuggled out a Bright Hope.
We're seeing 25.
So we're going back to 25, so we're going to here. I keep having to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. Jonathan's now at 2 HP.
Matt should be at 9.
Yes, correct. I was waiting for him to finish moving tokens around.
Yeah.
Jonathan's like, I had you at 1. What is happening?
Has he's
only got 1. Oh! The last card the card that he desperately needed.
And then he decks out.
And then he couldn't find it.
Yep. And then he decks out. I'm curious to know what's in his row. And that
I am.
When he smuggled,
he was very unhappy.
I'm gonna go find out.
Go find
out what he smuggled. I'll be right back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Matt's going to claim Game 1 here, and that should truthfully be the entire match because there's simply no way left to do. Oh, I think it was a confiscate. I'm betting that when he smuggled, that confiscate came out and was a huge mess. My assumption is that they're not even going to attempt a Game 2 and Matt's just going to get this match. I won't promise you that, guys. At the end of the day, it shouldn't make a difference to who goes into top 8, but I know these guys were probably looking forward to some of that top 16, and Matt probably still has a shot out of here just because he is he will likely end up at 5-1. I can't imagine a world where these guys even attempt a Game 2. Like I wouldn't. I don't know why you would bother. Like that just feels terrible. My goodness gracious. That's the longest single game Unlimited I think I've ever seen played. It's certainly the longest one I've ever cast. Well, it was a confiscate.
It was a Luke.
It was a Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So not only was it Luke, but in his opening hand, he put a super laser blast in the row.
Okay.
So when he hit a Luke, he's like, oh, my end game, no.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So he had resourced a super laser blast off the opening draw, and that one smuggle that he smuggled in.
The Lom Pike,
he put down a Luke.
Oh, no, Bazine. It was Bazine.
It was Bazine. He put a Jedi Luke in the row as the smuggle card.
Yep, and then
the very dead last card in his deck was Super Laser Blast. Am I guessing right? They're not even going to attempt a Game 2.
Correct.
It looks like they're just packing.
Yes, that's absolutely. Yeah, the judges are sitting right next to them, and they said you have 5 minutes left,
and they were just like, forget it. Yeah. Okay. So Matt's going to end up with the match win here.
Yep.
So kudos to him. Well done.
Yeah. Good job, Matt.
All right.